1 year ago. The waiters brought over twin cakes for Kirk and Olivia. After they blew out their candles, their mother handed each of them a present. The girls eagerly unwrapped the boxes. Kirk's contained a doll that looked just like Olivia, while Olivia's had a doll resembling Kirk. "As long as you have these dolls, you'll always have each other," their mother said. The girls hugged her tightly before enjoying the stage show and playing video games at Pete Playland for hours. "I just wish Daddy didn't have to work tonight," Kirk said, sitting beside Olivia in the back seat. Rain started falling, making the road slippery. Their mother glanced at them in the rearview mirror and smiled. "He should be home by the time we get there," Mrs. Anderson reassured her daughters. But suddenly, she lost control of the car. It skidded across the street, crashed through the guardrail, and rolled down an embankment into a ditch. "Are you girls okay?" Mrs. Anderson asked, her forehead bleeding. She saw Olivia shaking Kirk and panicked. "Olivia, what's wrong with Kirk?" "Olivia, answer me." "Mommy, she won't wake up," Olivia cried, tears streaming down her face. Mrs. Anderson dialed 911, her voice trembling. "This is Maxie Anderson," she said urgently. "My car went over the railing on Route 20. My daughter isn't waking up, and I'm afraid the worst. Please send an ambulance immediately." Maxie and Olivia did their best to keep Kirk warm and comfortable until the ambulance arrived. Maxie's heart sank as she worried about Kirk's condition, praying for the best as they made their way to the hospital. "George, it's me," Maxie said, pacing the waiting room. "Kirk's been in a car accident. We don't know if she's going to make it." "Yes, East Side Hospital, Emergency Department." "I'll be waiting for you." When George arrived, he saw Maxie standing with a sorrowful expression. "Nothing yet, dear," she said softly. Olivia continued to cry, her bond with Kirk unbreakable since birth. She couldn't imagine life without her sister. The doctors worked tirelessly on Kirk, but as midnight approached, they delivered the heartbreaking news. "I'm truly sorry," the doctor said, offering little solace. The father could only begin making funeral arrangements. Now *. Mr. Anderson made sure to celebrate Olivia's first birthday without her sister. As Olivia blew out her candles, she silently wished to have her brother back, no matter how it happened, just so they could be together again, as her mother had promised when she gave her the Kirk doll. Olivia wasn't interested in her presents that year and retreated to her room early. She took the Kirk doll from the shelf and accidentally dropped it. As the doll's body shattered, she cried and attached its head to one of her Mia collection dolls. She placed the new creation in their Place City's hospital. Since she went to bed early, she missed the faint glow that emanated from the doll hospital as the clock struck midnight. Sunlight streamed through a hospital window, and a hand moved across a bed sheet. Mia woke up, sitting up in bed and seeing a young man in white smiling beside her. "Who are you?" she asked. "I'm Dr. Ben," the man replied with a perfect smile, pointing to a girl sitting in the corner. "Your sister has been worried about you." "Olivia!" Mia shouted, rushing over to hug her sister. She didn't notice she was running on her toes as if wearing invisible heels. Olivia looked startled and pulled away. Mia looked puzzled. "What's wrong?" In her bedroom, Olivia knelt by her doll Land City, confused. She looked at the hospital room where the dolls of Mia and Olivia stood facing each other. Mia's voice echoed in her head. "Mia? Is that you?" "Olivia, I'm feeling a little stiff," Mia's voice said. "How long was I out? What's happening here?" "Mia, you died," Olivia said, circling her sister in the hospital room. "A year ago." "I don't understand how you're talking to me now." "What do you mean?" Mia asked, glancing at Dr. Ben. "You're standing right in front of me." "What hospital are we in?" "Hospital?" Olivia looked puzzled. She stood up and walked around her bedroom, trying to locate the source of her sister's voice. I'm in my bedroom. Are you saying you're seeing and hearing me in some hospital room? I don't know what's going on, Olivia, but I don't appreciate this prank. Mia shouted angrily. Where are Mommy and Daddy? If you don't tell me, I'm sure Dr. Ben will. Dr. Ben? Olivia froze, glancing down at her Doland Village playset. Dr. Ben is one of the dolls from our toy city. Don't you remember? We made him a doctor after we got tired of him and Amber working in the office building. Mia froze, unable to speak as she realized she was talking to one of her favorite dolls. Swallowing hard, she finally managed to say, "Kay Olivia, I know Mommy said we'd always be together with those dolls, but..." Olivia, how can you be in your bedroom while you're walking and talking in front of me? Mia asked. I'm not, Olivia replied. I put the doll that looked like me with the doll that looked like you in the same Dollland hospital room. It must be magic, wish magic from when I blew out the candles. You're in some kind of doll universe where everything seems real to you, but you're just a doll to me. This is insane, Mia said, pacing back and forth. This isn't a horror movie about living dolls. You've got to wish me back. How? Olivia asked. It's months until I get a Thanksgiving wishbone and a year until my next birthday. I don't know, Mia said, glancing at Dr. Ben and finding him strangely attractive. Think of something. How about a trip to Doland Park for a picnic? Olivia suggested. She placed her sister, herself, and Dr. Ben in her Malibu Amber race car and pushed it through the town to the park. As Olivia was arranging the dolls, Mia realized she had lost control of her limbs. She found herself holding Dr. Ben's arm, walking with him and his sister toward the hospital garage. They soon ended up driving to the park. Olivia, I can't control my body. It's moving like a machine without my input. That's because you're a doll, Mia, Olivia said from the back seat, while Mia sat in the front with Dr. Ben. If you don't play along, I'll have to get my Amber doll from her beach house and put her in the park with you. This is so strange, Mia muttered, shaking her head. It feels like you're actually here beside me in the car, even though you're in a completely different world. I can only imagine what it's like for you, Olivia giggled, placing Dr. Ben next to Mia and moving her doll to the lake sticker. I'll leave you two alone. Hey! Mia shouted as she saw Olivia walk down the hill to the lake from her perspective. Don't leave me with him. Don't trust yourself with a boy? Olivia looked back with a giggle. Olivia, time for bed, Mrs. Anderson called as she headed upstairs. Olivia gathered the dolls and placed them in her two-story dollhouse. Amber lay in an empty bathtub with her legs spread apart. Olivia dressed her doll in a gray lounge set, Dr. Ben in blue pajamas, and Mia in a pink cami top and shorts. Good night, Mia, Olivia giggled, placing her doll in one bed and Ben and Mia in another. Mrs. Anderson entered the room and Olivia quickly jumped into bed. Her mother tucked her in and kissed her forehead. This isn't funny, Mia's voice echoed. From her perspective, things felt different. She could only watch as Ben changed into pajamas while her own hands, controlled like a puppet, did the same. Despite her mind protesting, she couldn't stop herself from putting on the clothes Olivia chose. They then climbed into bed, where her body felt as rigid as a mannequin. Once Maxie left the room, Olivia quietly got out of bed. She went to the dollhouse, removed their clothes, and positioned Ben on top of Mia. Picking up the Amber doll, she wrapped it in a towel and moved it to the bedroom, imagining what might happen between the three while she slept. Ben, honey, Amber said as she tiptoed into the room, wrapped in a towel. Her jaw dropped when she saw Ben's male organ inside Mia. How could you betray me with this stranger? Mia gasped as Ben pulled out, and she climaxed. It isn't what you think, Mia said breathlessly, climbing out of bed and approaching Amber. Amber swung at Mia, who caught her wrist. They began pulling each other's hair and scratching with their long nails. Stay away from my man, Amber said icily. Mia ducked as Amber tried a high kick and then hit Amber in the jaw. She did a backflip to gain distance, but it only gave Amber more momentum. Amber ran forward and slammed her fist into Mia's chest. Mia could only curse Olivia as she staggered back in pain. "Olivia, you need an attitude adjustment for setting this up. You always liked it when our dolls fought," Olivia's voice echoed in Mia's head. "That was before I became the doll doing the fighting," Mia said, realizing her sister was controlling her fighting moves. She grabbed Amber's arm mid-punch and flipped her over her shoulder, slamming her to the ground. "Stop this before someone gets hurt." "Spoil sport," Olivia replied, dressing Amber in a bikini. From Mia's perspective, Amber seemed to be dressing herself. Mia noticed Amber apologizing as they all joined the Olivia doll for a beach trip. Mia had to admit the bathing suit was quite comfortable and suited her well. On the beach, Mia found the smooth, sculpted male dolls highly attractive. While Ben and Amber stayed together, Mia and Olivia paired off with their own partners. Mia didn't mention that they all resembled Ben, knowing they were just different versions of Dr. Ben. They enjoyed surfing on what was really cardboard and paint in the real world but felt completely real to Mia in this new world. "Isn't this much better?" Mia asked Olivia as they relaxed on the beach. "Better than fighting Amber, at least." "Let me get this straight," Olivia sighed. "You'd rather lounge on the beach and enjoy any adventure we can imagine?" "Adventures with men are just as interesting," Mia replied as lifeguard Ben applied sunscreen to her back and police chief Ben massaged Olivia's shoulders. Mia rolled over, wrapped her arms around Ben, and kissed him deeply. "You were more fun when you were alive," Olivia said, storming out of the room. Mia, now alone, lowered her bikini bottom and allowed Ben to join her. Just as she reached the peak of pleasure, her body froze, overwhelmed by the sensation. Determined to restore her sister, Olivia devised a plan. She rode through town, waving at passers-by, and reached the park where she stopped by the wishing well. Dropping coins into it, she wished for Mia to return to her original self. "That should do it," Olivia said, heading back home. She ran up to her room and found Doland City in ruins, with a life-size Mia lying among the debris. "Mia! Are you okay? Are you back to normal?" Olivia touched Mia's arm and felt warmth. Mia stretched and yawned, sitting up. "'Kay, Olivia," she blinked, confused. "I just had the strangest dream. I was a doll and—" "Mia, what's wrong?" Olivia asked, noticing Mia's bikini was partially pulled down, revealing her smooth thighs. Mia removed the bikini top and saw her chest was unchanged. It wasn't a dream, was it?" Mia asked, horrified. Olivia shook her head, tears streaming down her face. Hearing their mother and father's screams, they rushed into the room, staring in shock. Maxie fainted, while their father looked stern. "Will someone tell me what's going on?" "I wished on my birthday cake for Mia to come back from the dead," Olivia confessed, sobbing. "I missed her so much. Her soul ended up in the doll Mom gave me. When I used the wishing well to restore her to normal size, this is what happened." "Something went wrong with the wish," Mia said as she put her bikini back on. "I'm still inside the doll, but now I'm full size and alive under my own power." As Maxie woke up on the couch, she saw Mr. Anderson and Olivia beside her. "Oh, honey, I had this dream that Mia was back." "Actually, she is back," Mr. Anderson said, glancing at his daughter. "I don't understand how it's possible, but Mia's soul was transferred into the Mia doll you gave the girls. She's as alive as she was before the accident. It's a miracle, really." They stepped back as Maxie sat up, and Mia moved forward. "Mommy?" Mia hesitated, unsure of what to say. A tear rolled down her mother's cheek. With open arms, Mia embraced her mother, and they cried together. "Mia, you're back." Mia was overjoyed to be home, not caring if she would never have a normal life again. She didn't yet realize she would always remain beautiful and perfect. She was simply grateful to be with her family again and no longer under Olivia's control.